punch, left, right, left, right.
Oh, god damn. Welcome back, me Immortals, to another edition of the Meandering Sessions, where we talk a whole load of absolute crap for your enjoyment.
Crap.
This is Juan.
This is Karen.
And we are the Mere Mortals. Now, we're going to be talking a little bit about the utility of watches, technology, all the same, and I think you're going to get some good laughs and some good discussions there.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to be talking a little bit about MMA, which is not a topic we are well versed in. So
no, that'll be good. What's your Mere Mortal moment?
Okay, so mine is my response to Maximus Decimus Meridius. No, my friend, I'm not entertained. So I'm going to talk about maybe some things that we could do to make MMA interesting for us.
Shit. All right, cool. Mine is, do I really need to dive to 100 meters? Do I really need to dive to 100 meters? So, I'm actually going to kick this off, right? So, one thing that popped into my mind recently was I have a watch. A Vivo Active 3. Now, it is one of the more basic Garmin that you can get. And I'm thinking, I really want the really high level, like the highest of the brand of Garmin, which I think is a Phoenix 6S Solar Pro, whatever. And it has all these features on it. So you can play golf and it'll calculate your movement and your hits. You can go skiing and it'll calculate your location. You can do all sorts of crazy stuff. And because it's solar, it's powered for, infinity days until the universe collapses by heat. But all this crazy stuff. And every time I go and wanting to buy this, because it is in the order of 10 times more expensive than this watch. I keep going, ooh, these features are really cool. I think I'd really enjoy them. And then always something pulls me up to go, no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't even use it. You don't even go skiing. Skiing, never. You snowboard. You don't even ski. Yeah. So more and more, and I started thinking, what are the other utilities that you don't really use? And so one that came to mind was watches. So prior to this watch, I would use to wear mechanical watches, and I remember always being really not amazed, but maybe I would use it as a selling point when they say, "Oh, the watch is 100 meter depth." It can withstand 100 meters of sea depth. You can go down, and you have the diving watches. And I used to have previously had the G-Shock, and the G-Shock was known for being resistant and rough. You could be really rough with it, and it'd be all good. It'll be resistant. You won't break. But it's not like I'm personally diving to 100 meters. I haven't dived ever to 100 meters. So it's not like I can even put it to the test and be like, oh yeah, I really need it because I don't know, I'm about to go to space tomorrow. Is there things in your life that you find that the utility that it's being posed forward is just nonsense? Like you just never reach that limit, or just useless?
Yeah, or like the advertising is just not needed for you. If anything says low fat on it, like that is low fat, that is just absolutely not a consideration for me. So,
okay, that's good.
I don't particularly care about that. I would also say probably like vegan.
Ooh,
if it's vegan, like I don't give a shit. Like I'll eat it. I actually found in Woolworths, there's these 2 brownie packets that they'll sell in the sort of near the cookie, like fresh bread area.
Okay.
There's some at home I can show you anyway. And there's like normal like chocolate caramel brownie or something, and then there's a vegan one. The vegan one actually tastes way better, but like I don't care. If that suddenly became non-vegan, I would still be buying that one because it tastes better. Yeah. I'm not buying it because of the veganness of it. So
look, I'm sure there's people out there who buy it because it is vegan.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But to you, no.
But for me, that's not a consideration. Let me have a. Do you have any more?
There is a couple here. So I got this article that I was actually finding through of what are some other specifically tech. I'm sure there'll be like lots of really crazy stuff out there. So here's a couple. Right, you might have or might not have heard of before. There's the Hush Me voice mask, which is a voice mask that you put around your mouth, basically all the way around your ears, and so it is so that when you're walking around, you can talk without holding your phone. It's a wireless thing, but the contraption is so that people in your vicinity can't hear you because it holds all of the audio within this little area. And I thought, man, really, how...
if you're doing drug deals, maybe that's useful.
But this is the thing where it's like, the concept sounds cool. Like, it sounds like, oh, yeah, I'd use that. But you never would. Like, look at the contraption. You would never...
No.
You would never...
I'll find a picture elsewhere and put that on.
You would never go and wear this freaking contraption around just so people wouldn't hear you. You wouldn't do that. Yeah. You wouldn't get out of your house being like, oh, I forgot my Hush Me, so that people wouldn't use it. A couple of the other ones, was the Jagger and Lewis Smart collar. So look, I'll read this as an intro. It's completely unfair if we humans are the only ones allowed to enjoy the perks of technology. It's a pet tech, so it's a little smart collar for dogs, where it'll monitor the behavior of a pet and it will notify you through the apps of abnormal behaviors. And I was going through. So what this collar will do is, if your pet is walking, so if its steps cadence is changing too much, or if it's zigzagging too much, they've actually built an app where it will notify you. And I shit you not, they were like, oh, you can get minute by minute notifications.
Damn, that's what I need.
Minute by minute notifications of what your pet's doing. And I thought, again, wow, what a great idea in practice. Until, can you imagine just being like, every minute your phone's like, oh, your dog's like breathing. Oh, your dog just took a poo outside. Oh, your dog's like, man, you would not want to know that.
Your
you
dog just
care.
ate this thing.
And I just thought they're just on and on and on. All these ideas where someone would have produced them and gone, oh, there's utility in this. And when it like sparks in your mind, you go, yeah, okay, that's kind of cool, until you realize the practicality of it and go, no, this is horrible.
Yeah.
No one's going to use this.
Yeah, I think there's two things. So I was thinking more of stuff that maybe people actually use, but I find personally not useful. So, for example, if I'm buying clothes or something, I really don't care where it's sourced from, if it's 100% whatever. Maybe the material, just because material-wise, I know sort of cotton's a bit more breathable. Like, I don't particularly want polyester or whatever.
Yep.
But I don't care if it's from China, if it's locally sourced or whatever, because I buy one shirt a year, if that, not even that. So, that's just not a big consideration for me. But for people, girls who have closets full of clothes and don't want to contribute to fast fashion, maybe that is. But then there's what you're talking about, which is for everyone, it's completely unnecessary.
Exactly, for every single person, for every human.
Yeah, there is not a single person who would really say, man, this, had changed my life on the scale of, I don't know, having a bed changed my life.
Yeah. but it's again, you going back to the watches. They sell watches where it's like one that's 100 meter depth persistent and the other one's 250 meter depth persistent. Like, the amount of humans that's going to actually take part, like, is going to be useful for, it's so minuscule. And that's so the utility be useless for most people. Like, for me, useless. I don't think, before I die, I don't think I'm going to get to the depth of 100 meters under the water. Like, I just don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe in a submarine. Like, in a submarine, it's going to happen more likely than me going and swimming 100 meters down.
Yeah. What about something like diamonds? So it's, this diamond is 46 carats. Oh, this is like 52 carats.
Yeah, no, not at all.
No. I know for me, and I know for most people, you wouldn't be able to tell. Like, you can show me a diamond, and I'm not going to know how many carats is in it just by looking at it. I'm not sure anyone can. That's why you need the eyeglasses.
Yeah, but even I think the carats, I think it's more the size, but it's the, what are they called, like the brilliance or whatever, the grading of it.
I used to know these actually, because when I was
day or whatever it is, but like even like that stuff off the this is a gradient D -3 or
there was color, there was the like crystallization, I think, the clarity. I'm gonna look this up.
Okay.
This is bugging me.
There's all these variables to it, and does everyday humans really can tell like how shiny the diamond is? Maybe if you put on those very, very specific areas, but normality, no, not really. So just made me think. There's lots of things out there in the tech world where, or just broadly, where I think the utility at face value looks good, but then when you really sink into it, you're like, no, this is not useful at all.
Color, cut, clarity, and carat. Those are the four. Yeah. I don't know why I used to know that.
The 4 C's.
The 4 C's.
Dang.
All right, so I've got a question for you. Neither of us particularly likes MMA. No. I don't think you've ever watched...
I won't say I'm a fan, but I won't say that I dislike it.
Okay, yeah. Same as me. It's the equivalent level of AFL.
Yep.
It's on. I don't care about it. If I am forced to sit and watch and there's nothing else to do, I'll watch it. But it's not like I hate it. But what are some things you would do to make it so that you actually would watch? So it's like, oh, damn.
This is so easy, man. So easy.
All right,
easy.
Give me a couple.
The reason I say it's so easy is because I'm going to have to relate a lot of the things of what wrestling would do, because this is what the exact same thing.
I think we have a very similar mind in this case. So.
Because it's exactly what happened in the American and the Western world of wrestling, that beforehand, or just in the Eastern world, what happened in wrestling, just to spice it up, or in like the urban wrestling area. So what I would do is, for absolutely sure, is the number one thing to make it more exciting.
Yeah.
I would make the cage electrified. I would electrify the cage.
Yeah,
not with like a lot, but enough that you'd be like, ooh, like it'd be a little bit of a shock.
Yeah.
So that, you know, as people are kind of like backing away, they'll just forget and they'll just go against the cage and be like, oh dang.
Yeah.
But it would also introduce the, you know, the possibility where someone will pick someone up and like throw them into the fence and just be like, yeah. So I think not to kill them, like just enough for a couple of heart attacks.
Yeah, you know,
but
like
I think it'd be enough.
Wile E. Coyote sort of level.
Exactly.
Of
like
pain
funny,
and
funny type of destruction.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely one that would be really, really cool. The other one though, that just sort of top of my head, would be, so you're in the octagon, you know, ooh, what can you do? I'm thinking constrained to space, but not surface area wise in the terms of how much you're walking around. No, make it so the ceiling is halfway down, so that they have to fight, but they crouch always like halfway crouched. So they've got to be like walking like monkeys. Like, you've got to be like, oh yeah. I think that would be really interesting. Imagine swinging in those positions.
Funny as hell. Yeah. Probably
So I think that would be another one. That would make it exciting. I would be like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
This one though, if they did this, if Dana White or any of the other guys, I can't remember what the other Victory, I think, or Pride, all these other fighting ones are. Have you heard of Royal Rumble in wrestling?
Isn't that just where anyone can enter at any time?
Well, no. The premise is that two people start the match, and the only way to get out is to be hit over the top rope. And then a person comes into the match every minute or 2 minutes, up to 30 people. So it's a 30-man Royal Rumble. So I would say something like that. So it would be like at the beginning,
absolute brawling.
It would be absolute brawling of two people who are like the shittest of them all, like right at the bottom of the hierarchy of the rankings. And one person would enter every 2 minutes.
No, I think you'd need to have like the best people at the start.
No.
Okay,
You have the worst, because if you're the best, you should have the most chance of winning. But what it'd be is like, you know, every 2 minutes you have someone else come in. So then you'd have 3, 4 people, 5 people. But the only way to get out would be similar. I would say cut out holes on the octagon, so in the actual like walls, and to get people out, they either tap them out or like throw them out through there. So what it'd be cool to see, you'd be like, you have like 7 people at once, and some people would like gang up. But as it starts getting better and better, you'd have people who are maybe more skilled at being able to tap people out and whatnot. So.
No, see, I'd like it the other way, which is you have the 2 shit people right in there. 2 good people.
The best people, yeah.
And then they get worn out. And so as more people enter in, they're getting more tired. So they can't just come in right at the end, slay everyone, and win easily.
Yeah,
I want sort of shit dude at the end to have a decent chance of winning.
Yeah.
Just as much as like the awesome guy who's right at the start. That'd be my thoughts.
Give me some ideas.
Okay, so I had 3 things. So. Theatrical characters, unexpected events, and unusual terrain. So the TC, the theatrical characters, like WWE, but clownish and funny commentators as well. I want to see real character development. I want to see props. I want to see backstories. I want to see, you know, just extensive levels of this guy had this thing, and it was like, and then this other fella screwed his mom, and he's out for revenge, and you know, like I want there to be, and they try and do this in MMA, but like I haven't personally. If a guy had a funny cowboy hat on and was doing all of that, yeah, legit, and he got to wear the cat in the cage. Unexpected events, so you know you're watching Conor McGregor and Khabib. This is cool, and then out of nowhere, like 50 yoga balls just drop from the ceiling. And then they're just like having to fight in this like yoga ball mayhem. Maybe a little bit of like every second round or something, blindfold time. Put on blindfolds, go at it, and they put bells on their body or some shit. 12 skunks in the cage as well.
12
skunks. Yeah. So just some random mayhem going on with skunks in there. Sort of like MXC. So you remember Most Extreme Challenge. Just absurd things going on. People get, Velcro on them, or there's like a rotating magnet and they have stuff on their body. So they're always getting pulled in like weird directions. So he's going for a punch and then like the magnet comes right behind him and stops his punch. And then the other guy just lifts into him and like Superman punches him. that sort of shit.
That would be pretty cool.
I would be into that.
Be up for that.
And then the last one I was thinking was just unusual terrain. So you sort of covered this. I had inside of a nuclear reactor. So you could tell them like, hey, you can touch the walls, it's okay, but for every 5 seconds you're touching it, that's a year of your life gone. So then they're going to be, there's none of this bullshit like pushing them up against the corner, if you are, you're like pushing them and that's like serious, like, shit, I gotta get away from this.
You gotta fight just outside of Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Just like, and the quicker you tap them out, the less you're gonna die later.
Yeah.
Shit.
So imagine the octagon, but it doesn't have a cage around it. It's just a big like circular thing suspended between 2 hot air balloons, maybe 4 hot air balloons. So we got some stability, and then they have parachutes on. So you can either knock them out, or you can knock them off the side, and then but then there's like the danger of like, what if you like knock them out and they fall off the side? Sort of, Sparta 300.
That's what happens.
Just a risk you take. Maybe while completing an obstacle course, so Tough Mudder, but everyone's just fighting each other. And so there's like elbows getting thrown around.
I feel like that already happens.
Yeah, there's probably some sort of thing like that out there.
Oh, I think that happens in Tough Mudder, to be honest. Oh, really? Yeah. People like elbow you out of the way and shit. Yeah. Even when I did, when I did Tough Mudder. When I did Tough Mudder, I did Tough Mudder. Yeah, the short one, like a 5 kilometer one.
Oh, okay.
When I did Tough Mudder, the very first obstacle was just jumping over this like little thing that you would, but there's like 200 people more. And so as you're like jumping over, people like pushing people out of the way, trying to get fast.
There's no real malintent there, though. I think,
the one, actually, no, I would say this would be really, really cool because, basketball. Normal basketball, you can imagine what it's like, fine. But have you seen basketball where they have trampolines on the ends?
Yeah, what's that? There's
a league for it. But
yeah, what was it called? It's like slam ball.
Slam ball, maybe.
Yeah, that's.
So I was watching the top
slam ball. Okay, that's what it was.
I was watching the top 10 slam ball moments, something like that, and they're like really cool moments.
Yeah.
Trampoline, different trampolines in the octagon, because you get like this crazy, like people would be like, bouncing around. All of a sudden, it's like a jumping kick, like backflip kick into its head. Oh man.
Or maybe like some point-based system of like the coolest move. So sometimes you can go into the UFC highlights and they'll do like an axe kick or some shit where it's like, whoa, what the shit was that?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
An axe kick?
Yeah.
Is it when you kick them like overhead, kind of like a Maradona?
No. That'd be cool. I believe it's where you like
go
as if you're going to do a front kick, and then you turn sideways and sort of like come around and kick them from the side. Looks cool as shit. So I would definitely be given like bonus points. Like you do this X move or invent a new move. Or extra a combo.
Points. Yeah.
Hell yeah, you get extra points.
Gee, there you go. Okay, if Dana White doesn't take all of these into account and makes a completely new UFC, then you're not listening hard enough to the meme models. That's happening. Yeah,
then your business is on the downhill already.
You better watch out for the mere mortal fighting. Well, what do you call the new MMA?
Mere mortal martial arts.
Yeah, mere mortal martial arts. There you go. Mere mortal martial arts.
Very good.
Excellent. Okay. I got nothing else from my side.
No, I think that's it for me.
We'll keep it a short one today, folks. This has been the Meandering session. We're outdoors. We're having good fun. If you want to keep on having fun with us, of course, go check out all of the other content, whether it's YouTube, whether it's the audio. If you're checking out the audio, make sure you're subscribing, you're liking, you're telling friends, you're making comments, all the good stuff.
How would you create a new league? What sort of fighting styles would you implement? What sort of characters would you want? Maybe you could combine soccer as well with UFC, or combining of sports.
That'd be so deadly. Just be like knocked out people. Like it's like a red card. Like you get a red card when you pass out. Like when you pass out and you're like knocked out.
There's sort of a version of it. It's not using kicking the ball, but it's sort of like rugby mixed with soccer, mixed with just deadly fighting. It's like a Italian sport where so it's 2 teams of like 30 men, and there's I think 4 people in like 4 teams in this league. It's just this like one town in Italy that does it.
Ridiculous. Is that the one where they go all the way between towns playing the game? Or is it like in a particular field?
No. So this is one where it's like a particular field. So imagine like a soccer field type deal. Yeah. But it's sand, and right at the end there's like just a horse stable type thing, like a barrier. And you just have to get the ball into that area. But it's just brawling.
Yeah, just brawling. So there's whichever way you're going to get it in.
Yeah, brawling each other. There's like a couple of guys with the ball. They try and like get close, but as soon as they get close, the other team just smashes them.
Yeah, all right, Immortals. That's it for now. One out.
Going out.
Ay.